Hey dear Tyler, how far are you? How have you been? And I hope you're really good and I hope you're fine. It's really nice to connect with us again. I'm having the habit of always having either one thing or the other that constitutes some level of engagements for me. And, just balancing between the two. It's been a lot, but yeah, we'll still keep on doing our best. And it's nice to reach out to everyone. And thank you so much for, consistently engaging with dear Tyler. I know it's a lot, and I know that the expectations are, a lot more. I should do a lot better, and God help me to do a lot better. So today, I just, had a very long day, did a lot of things in the house and all. I just got some time now, and I was like, let's just do an episode and see where we go from here. And I think it'd be really, really nice to just talk about my birthday. So my birthday was like 2 months ago. That was March 14th. And leading up to that time, probably let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior to that time, I was battling a lot of anxiety. Now, by the special mercies of God, I have lived a little bit on this earth. I am quite of age. God has been faithful that I hope so. So I don't know if people are just, flattering me or, just being nice, but I don't really look my age, right? I don't really look my age. And somehow, I think within that, 3 weeks prior to my birthday, I was having a lot of anxiety. I was having a lot of, just general, concerns. Like, oh, Pinga, you're turning into an age that's like, okay, it's really scary. I remember when you thought about this kind of age and what you thought you were going to achieve. In the next few weeks, you're going to be that age and you've not even started, anything within that line. And then also within my birthday period, I took a large step to try out something. So I have this amazing family that God gave me a few years ago, but then we reconnected last year. Right, it's Uncle Chris and Auntie Shola. They have been an amazing family, and so we usually used to have these end of month worship meetings at their place, and we usually have a lot of connections and speak. People pour out their hearts. It's a very vulnerable moment. We're first of all vulnerable before the Lord, and then we take advantage of the people that come over and also get vulnerable with them, and a lot of times words of healing, words of encouragement rather, that come through that particular platform. And it's really a safe place, right? God is really glorified in each and every meeting that we have. And so within the last meeting there, I just said, okay, I was going to, do something for my birthday. I was going to, take a step. I've been writing songs since the year 2000. I wrote my first song January 2000. So this makes it 25 years that I've written, or I've been a songwriter. And in all honesty, I won't say that I've hit it big or hit it large with songwriting. It's been more of a kind of like a mess for me. And my biggest dream when it comes to passion-wise is definitely music. And I had a lot of dreams growing up to be, a great musician, songwriter, world-renowned, world-recognized, all of that. And along the line, I tried certain things, tried to knock on certain doors, tried to maximize certain opportunities, do the best that I could. And at the end of the day, I really didn't, hit the target. And, along the line, I had, suffered some level of insecurities, people that I'd respected and really, really hoped that they would, be of some level of support to me, actually didn't seem to place, or they didn't give the energy that I needed, right? So there were times where I want to do a particular thing musically, and I'd be substituted, I'd be changed, they would choose other people over me. It was just, a major struggle. And I literally kind of like lost interest in the whole music thing. So, but then I said, okay, I was going to, just take that step and do something musical, right? And whatever it is, just gather a few friends and, do it. So during that meeting, I told Uncle Chris and Auntie Shola and then the rest of the family that was there, and I told them that, okay, this is what, I'm going to, I'm going to pursue music. Now, I didn't, in particular tell them that I was going to do a program, but I was going to step out and be more confident in my music, sharing my music and all. So along the line, I now decided that, okay, I was going to, have a program. Never really done a program for myself. I've helped organize programs for other people, and it's something that I do enjoy, right? So I've helped organize programs like that. So from the planning of the program, I'd had, that in my mind sometime early February. So I was hoping, money is going to come and do some things. But as it stood, I entered into a terrible financial squabble, like maybe 4 years ago, and during the COVID period, 4 or 5 years ago, entered into a very terrible financial squabble that I'm still, kind of like paying for. Yes, that's the word. I'm still paying for a lot of the things that I did, right? Wrong investments, wrong choices, wrong financial decisions, and it put me on a very, very low. It put me in a very low place, and so the money that I was expecting for it, to do all that I need to do, it never came. It never came. So, or it came rather, and then it had to go into, offsetting certain debts, paying back certain monies here and there. So a few weeks, or just like maybe 2 weeks to that time, I did not have the money for the venue. I did not have money for many things. But I sent out the invite, and in my heart I was like, okay, if by like a week before the time I don't get the money that I need, I was going to cancel it, right? So, and I was like, really bothered about it. So I come over for rehearsal on a Saturday, and someone just reaches out to me in the worship team, and they're like, oh yeah, what about that your program? How is it going? And I'm like, honestly, I'm just trusting God, for the money for the venue. I've not even offset that. And the person was like, I don't understand. I was like, yes, so I've not really paid for that. The person was like, oh, but I paid for it like 2 weeks ago for you. And I was like, really? The person was like, yeah, I paid for it like 2 weeks ago for you. So that should not even be a problem. And, unbeknownst to me, this person too had taken it upon themselves to not just, pay for the venue, but then also get, someone to, take videos, just different things. It was just beautiful, right? And, it was very humbling. And one of the things that the person said is that we've waited for this for you. Like, you've done so much for other people. This is the least we can do for you. And I was like, oh my God. So, like now, okay, I have to prepare for the program and all the songs that I wanted to do. I started like rehearsing. But then that was it. I didn't have money to, do like any refreshment. So I was like, okay, that's the best I can do. I remember I was speaking to my friend Zay, and, just telling her about the whole stuff. And, she was like, whatever you can do, just do. Do you understand? Like, you don't have to push yourself over and beyond for people. If you don't have the means to entertain people, just let it be. At least let them come enjoy whatever you are hosting them with. And so, I go there. So I'm preparing and doing all of that. And so a week, the Saturday before my birthday was on a Friday. So the Sunday rather before my birthday, I'm done from Koinonia. And then two of my friends come over and they meet me and they're like, oh, so how far, what's the preparation for the day? And I was like, okay, we'll just come, I'll sing, we'll share songs, you guys will pray for me and we'll go. They're like, there's no cake, no nothing. I was like, no, I don't have the means. If I get the means, I'm going to get cake and everything. And they said, oh, okay. And they left. Now, fast forward to Thursday, I had a certain meeting, right? So our Chamo, as the head of department of the Koinonia worship team, was preparing for his concert. So I was there, at the rehearsals, just helping to direct the vocalist and everything. After that meeting, I spoke with because we use the same studio that they're using for rehearsal. That was going to be my venue. So I just, meet the owners of the facility, speak with them about some of the things that I need and I want. And then when they had, we've sorted it out, I just lay down there and I prayed and I was like, Lord, you know how I'm freaking out because I'm not sure people would enjoy my music or, be blessed, and I'm not sure people would come, but whatever it is, just take the glory from it. So I get home. Okay. And then, so what even triggered that was that night, or that morning when I woke up, or the previous night, I had a terrible dream. And in that dream, what happened was the concert was happening, and people, apparently this was happening outside. So, there was a large crowd of people. People were singing, the preamble, the people that you call headlining the stage. So they just come, start off the event, and then the main person comes up, right? So this person is singing and then there's a crowd. And so when it's my time to come up, as I'm walking up on the stage, everybody starts leaving until there are only 4 people left. Until there are only 4 people left. Now that was extremely wild for me because I started panicking. I started feeling oh my God, people don't like me, And so I remember waking up that morning and I was like, has my birthday passed? And it was just the Thursday. So when I got to the venue that Thursday, I just laid down and I was like, Lord, you see my heart, you see my fears, you see what I'm going through. And my anxiety wants to get the best of me, wants to really get the best of me. But then I'm depending on you for everything. You've come through for me. You've given me a venue. My money didn't go into all of that. So fast forward to my birthday. I took out time to pray in the morning into the birthday. People are celebrating me, doing stuff. And then all of a sudden, I just reach out to someone. Tell them, oh, today is my birthday. Can you just pray for me and everything? The person prays for me and then sends me quite an amount of money. Now, by the grace of God, I think I got my car in July. And from the day that I got my car, I'd never filled my car tank. That was the first day that I filled my car tank. I get over to the venue, just setting things up. And then as we start the meeting, as we start the whole meeting and all, people start coming in. Yeah, so people start coming in. And then, so we had started the program with just a few. Then we just started, and then people started coming in. So, that fear of, people will not come and show up had been cancelled. Then my friends walk in, and then they walk in with, small chops and all of that. After some time, I now see cake, and they had, just done it by themselves and said that they're going to reach out to Binga and do all of these things, just out of the goodness of their heart. And then from there, other people came with other things. They started bringing, in, drinks. And, it was just, wild and, just amazing, because I was like, not 1 naira of my money went into that. Not 1 naira of my money. I've heard testimonies of people saying that, that they had a program and God showed up for them, that they didn't spend a dime of their own money and all of that. And for me, it was an experience I had never had, right? And I really felt like it was not something for me. But then I saw it pan out that day. And then when I started singing the songs, it was just a captivating experience. People were just, so caught up in the things that I was saying. They were caught up in the songs. There were a few tears here and there. I felt people were really, really blessed that day. And I remember, some of the comments that were made, like, Binga, how can we get these songs? These songs are songs of healing. And many of the songs, I had written them probably 15 years ago, you get. And those were songs during my dark times as a person. And it did something to me. I remember going home that day. I was driving my younger sister, and I was like, God is so good that, I was just thinking about it, that if I had not, walked out in faith, if I had not walked out in faith to do all that God had laid in my heart to do, I would have never ever known that God could come through for me in that kind of way. It was just, just beautiful. I remember Uncle Chris and Auntie Shola, I had told them a little bit late about the fact that I was going to host the program and all. And the first thing, they just reached out and they're like, Binga, please, can we invite some of the other people, that attend our worship hangout together? And, for me, because the venue that I was using was pretty small and there were no chairs, I didn't want to make people feel uncomfortable and everything. But I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so, a lot of people came and they were just like, please, whenever you're working on your music, let us know. And by the grace of God, I've started working on it. Now, like I said, I was blessed with the birthday, and it's just been good for me from that point onwards. Now, the reason why I'm sharing the story of my birthday is because I really felt like I had lost all hope. I had given up on my dreams of music, honestly. I didn't want to share my songs. I didn't want to, share even my musical gift. There were times where I would try and pick up my guitar and sing, and I would sense the struggle inside of me. But then after that experience, and I saw that the healing that my gift brought, I was like, Lord, this is something worth investing. Now, so the money that was given to me on my birthday, I entered the studio and started recording, right? And we're still working on it. And by God's grace, I'm targeting sometime June or July, as the resources come, would make them available, right? I'm also planning something, substantial for Dear Tyler. I'm really hoping that I'll have a live Dear Tyler event in Abuja sometime in July. So that's the goal, and that's what I'm planning for. But I just wanted to use this to encourage you that you should never ever give up on God, right? When it comes to your dreams and the things that He has laid in your heart, never ever give up on God. One of the reasons why I did the last episode about my audience is that I had tried to, push my music to certain people. They just didn't connect with it. And with time, I started, devaluing myself, having a very wrong perception of who I am and what I'm capable of, started downplaying the grace of God at work in my life and all. But in the right audience, just being in the place where people sincerely value your gift and sense your worth, I felt like I was on top of the world. There was just like this energy that really, really came. And I'm so excited. I started writing songs again because that whole period of my life that I experienced rejection, right, or unacceptance, what happened to me is that my passion and my desire for writing stopped, right? But then somehow when I realized what my gift was doing to other people, right? It put within me that urge, that sense of passion to be able to, share my songs, just share things, generally with people and all. And it's been a blessing so far. I'm trusting God for a lot of things, but I've seen God come through, from my birthday having absolutely nothing to going home with a full tank, to having resources to be able to start my music project. And, things have just been, a lot better. My self-perception has really, really improved. That sense of value and worth has really improved. And it's a major testimony for me. It's a major testimony for me. I just really felt like, just sharing it. I just thought that it would be good for you to know that this is what happened to your guy on that day, right? And a lot of people were just, even after that day, I love perfumes. I came home with maybe like 5 or 6 different perfumes. Somebody got me a journal. I was hoping to get a journal. Someone got me a journal. People got me, just lovely, lovely gifts here and there. I had bottles of wine. I had cake. The cake that the worship team gave me was like a 3-layer cake. I ate that cake for close to a month. It was in my freezer for a month. I'll just come take it, and I shared it, with other people. I think I had about 4 cakes that period. It was just wild and beautiful. I'd never experienced that level of honor. I've never experienced that level of, that level of love that people rallied around me, just to make sure that my day was special, right? And I pray for you, Tyler. I really pray for you that God brings you towards people that truly love you. Right now, I know that if I'm ever craving love, there are people that I would meet and they will give it to me lavishly. They will pour out themselves, holding absolutely no bounds, right? And I'm just happy that God is introducing me to people that love me, that care about me, and are willing to support me. And I pray that that's the same thing that happens to you, that God brings you to your own, to people that sense your worth, people that are willing to give their all to you, to see that you are happy, and not just happy, but that you fulfill purpose, right? So I really hope this episode blessed you. Pardon some of the little background noises that you may be hearing, but I really hope that it blessed you, right? So this is me signing out, Tyler. Remember that I love you, I believe in you, and I'm always rooting for you. Bye.